the sacrifice. So you find yourself just 3 hours ago at 3:45, just 3 hours ago, when up walks the locked gate to heaven and opens its mouth and asks you not a question, but the question. Do you want to be the sacrificial poet? You tell the gate, wait a minute, let me ask Google what that means. And you read, sacrifice, noun. An act of slaughtering an animal or person. And you pause to brush away the regret that you didn't bring your pet cat to school today, and then read on. Or surrendering a possession as an offering to God, and you stop again, tempted by no, because you opted out of that business a long time ago. But then, thank God, you read on. Or to a divine or supernatural figure. And though left cold by supernatural figures, no flying spaghetti monsters for you, you can totally get down with bleeding for the divine. And the next phrase clinches it in a way that only your History of China students who were awake during those Confucius discussions will understand. A ritual killing. A ritual killing. Because you would gladly die for ritual. You find yourself answering with the most sacred word in your or any language, the word yes. And that yes unlocks the gate, and you walk through at 3:45, and you find yourself preparing yourself for as a sacrifice. And not just any sacrifice, mind you. You have said yes to being the sacrificial poet. Poet? Poet, noun. A person who writes poems. The crippled definition is flung heavenward, though, by its winged Greek root. Poietes, maker, poet, from poiein, create. So here I find myself. Your willing victim, ready to be slaughtered for the divine. By making a poem, creating past the gate for your knives. Yet as I stand here bleeding with this song, I'm still unsure what to sing. Now that my blood is flowing, what song shall I offer you on my way out? I suppose it starts like this. Sacrifice myself for the divine? Commit suicide for the sake of beauty? I've been doing that. God knows. God knows. God knows. Though so many students don't. Daily. For more than 10 years. Because dying for beauty is simply what any real teacher does. And just like my famous predecessor, who spilled his blood quite a while ago to open wide the gates of heaven, only to be taken at best half seriously for his pains, and ignored by the vast, unholy majority, and laughed at, crowned with thorns, and punctured to add injury to insult as he looked down from his lonely wooden tower in the spleen. I'll sing this verse to a world mostly deaf, but I'll sing it for those of you who have ears. What we're trying to show you, we sacrificial teachers, is that you live in a puddle, one frog leap away from an ocean. We were once young puddle swimmers ourselves, listening to our own older-fashioned versions of bitches and hoes music. Watching our own cave shadows of junk TV or junk WWW. Not the rest of it. Wasting our own precious hours on Pac-Man and Space Invaders.
Yeah!
But, by some act of grace, we flipped out one day and flipped in to seas and seas and seas, whose limits and depths we still, ages and ages later, haven't finished swimming. And we found that in these seas are fires and flames beyond your puddle-bound dreams. So besides my blood, take a few more things. Take a few symphonies by Mahler, a few trumpet solos by Miles, a few yins and yangs from Lao Tzu, and a few odes from Keats. I've tried to give you these bricks of gold for years, but you've been so poor because of your money that you can't afford to accept these treasures for free. When I was your age, I said the forbidden word to these heavens too. To my old teachers, I said no. Getting it blood-free didn't work, so maybe a guilt trip will. Here I stand up here, finding myself bleeding for beauty. And that beauty, it's the vision of you, puddle-free and ocean-bound. So don't turn down a bleeding man. Take these gifts, swim with them for a few good decades, and I swear to you, your life point average will ascend and ascend and ascend way beyond a 4.0 until it passes through the gates of heaven.